Hi, I'm Moira Shepherd, the author of Love Your Way to Success, and I am all about helping you to develop the confidence that you need to succeed. Today, we're talking about three more ways, because there are a bunch of them. I got a million of them, as Jimmy Durante used to say. There's three of the many ways to open to receive, so you can start your flow of abundance or expand your flow of abundance right away. So you've got abundance now instead of tomorrow or someday, which is, that can be a long ways off. And why should you wait? You have already earned so much abundance already. So we want to open to receive because it makes it easier to accept, allow, and sustain the success that you're working so hard to create. You're putting in all this time, all this effort, all this thought, so much love. And it's so wonderful when you see the results of all of your efforts. And when you open to receive, it's much easier to allow those results to flow back to you for some of the love that you've given out, the wisdom that you've shared in the course of your life gets a chance to come back to you. You also want to open to receive because it helps you to feel more comfortable with charging what your services or products or programs are worth. It's if you're not open to receiving, it could be very hard to charge anything or more than a pittance. And we want to see you prosper on the financial level too. That's one of the ways of abundance. I definitely want to support you in gaining for yourself. Opening to receive also helps you to recognize and appreciate the abundance you already have. You're receiving it. It's here already, but it's not really sinking in. There are things you may be taking for granted that other people consider huge blessings. They would give anything to have them, and you've got them in your day-to-day life, and they've just become, part of the landscape of your day. So this helps you to get into more of a state of appreciation for what you already have. And appreciation is an emotional energy that magnetizes more abundance to you. It's kind of the principle behind that old saying, them this has gets, or success breeds more success. And I'm definitely looking forward to helping you set yourself up for success in your chosen field. Before we start, I'd like to tell you a little about myself. I'm a fourth generation Californian. Great grandma came over on a covered wagon from Missouri. And I am living in the city of Angels, have done for a long, long time. And as befits as an inhabitant of Los Angeles, I'm a huge fan of classic movies like Red Dust with the great Jean Harlow and Clark Gable. And I just love Goodbye, Mr. Chips with the adorably bumbling Robert Donat. So that is enough about me. Let's talk about you. I love talking about you. I love thinking about you. I love blessing you in these webinars and just being in your presence, whether you're here in person or in spirit. You are a loving soul with a generous heart, brilliant mind, a gorgeous soul who wants to make a difference in people's lives. And I honor and bless you for that. And I really want to support you in your carrying out your mission, your purpose, your passion in your life. You may also wonder if anything you say or do, will it really make a difference? You may also feel weird about asking to be paid and paid well for work that's creative, spiritual, intuitive, or fun, or all of these things. It can be like, oh my gosh, I would do this for free. It feels kind of strange to ask people for money for it. Totally get that. You may also feel a little nervous about the idea of people reading words that you have written or watching you speak, listening to what you have to say. And that can create a certain amount of anxiety, shyness, a little, I'm not sure about this whole visibility thing. I kind of like to stay out of the spotlight. I am right there with you as a lifelong introvert. I totally get it. And yet here I am on video sharing some things that I feel moved to share with you because I love you and want you to help you love and accept and enjoy yourself more. So you feel more comfortable with sharing yourself and your gifts with the world. And that's why I'd like to just take a couple of minutes to talk about this thing that I've put together, because I see so many people lacking in confidence. I see so many people who are immensely gifted and are great at seeing the huge gifts in others, but in themselves, not so much. They're modest, they're humble, they're like, I don't want anybody to think I'm conceited. and they really question the value of what they feel moved to offer. And whatever you feel moved to offer, whatever you feel moved to share, that's a desire that comes from your heart, from your soul, from your higher power. You would never feel moved to offer your gifts, to share what you know, to share your love, unless there was some greater purpose behind it. Your desires and dreams didn't come out of nowhere. And so I'm here to support you more or less in getting out of your own way, getting out of the way of your passion, getting out of the way of your purpose, getting out of the way of your mission, out of the way of giving your gifts to those who desperately need it, because you and your talents are needed now more than ever. So I've created this 5-week group coaching program called the Abundance Retreat. And it's all about helping you to feel more comfortable in your own skin. Because when you find it easier to accept yourself, it's easier to imagine other people accepting you and wanting to hear what you have to say, and having an open ear, an open heart, an open mind to hear the wisdom and love that you want to convey. It's all about helping you to become aware of what a gift and a contribution you are, not in a way that creates conceit or egotism, but gives you a really glorious kind of humility. So these gifts, this talent, this ability to think, this ability to express things clearly, this big heart I have for loving, this passion I have for service, these are gifts from God, and they were never meant to be kept for myself. They're meant to be shared. They were given to you to share. The Abundance Retreat is all about helping you feel comfortable with sharing the incredible gifts that you have to give with a world that needs them now more than ever. So let me just take a moment for you to find more details about this 5-week program. And we put it in the chat here, just pulling things up and out of the way here. And oh goodness, where is, I've got this little link somewhere. I appreciate your patience. There I am, all in the flow. And here I am playing around with technology. And isn't that just always the way? So this is just an example of how getting more comfortable in your skin, allowing yourself to share your gifts, can happen even when you're a little uncomfortable with technology, even when you have to take a moment to pause and say, wait, let me just get you that link, as I'm doing here. And I could let that totally break the flow and think, oh my God, the webinar is ruined. I better just stop right now. It would be easy to do that, but I love you too much to deprive you or myself or the higher power we all serve in our own way of the opportunity to be together, support one another through our presence, through our gifts, for our wisdom. So there you are with the link in the chat, and you can go to find out more about this 5-week program. And I feel moved to share that it is a 5-week program, but the things that you discover about yourself, the way you learn to treat yourself with more compassion, with more respect, the way you develop confidence from the inside out, confidence that's rooted in love, just like your gifts, it's rooted in love, just like your passion, it's rooted in love, just like your message. They are all something that will continue to unfold far beyond the 5 weeks, far beyond the time that we spend together in these mini retreats. They will continue to unfold and expand and ignite fresh realizations, fresh healings, fresh insights, new wisdom, a new way of looking at things that help you suddenly see, oh my gosh, how can I not share this? Even if one person, only one person, hears this message and feels lit up, has an aha moment, suddenly feels less alone in that moment. Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to do that? These and other realizations like them get set in motion by the tremendous act of self-care that is the essence of taking part in this abundance retreat. And I look forward to experiencing that with you in the future. I'd love it if you would join me. I already know you've got a beautiful heart and a beautiful mind. And I'd love us to spend more time together. So go ahead and check that out when you get a chance. And in the meantime, let's get back with our regular program, discovering 3 more ways to open to receive all the abundance, all the love, all the money, all the appreciation that keeps knocking at your door. And we're going to look at some ways that you can let that in. So the first thing that we're going to do is take some time to relax and de-stress so you can have more energy, let go of some tension that you may have been carrying that you're aware of or unaware of. So I'd like us all to just get up and take a stretch, waggle things around. Clap your hands, make some noise, stamp your feet if you feel like it, shake your hips. Whew, just to remind yourself and your body that you're alive and that there's more to you than the face on the Zoom screen, that there's much more to you and your world than sitting in front of a computer, which is wonderful because it lets us be together, and there's so much more to life, right? So I see that we've got somebody else who has joined us. Natalie, thank you so much for being here with us today. I hope you arrived in time to kind of shake it up and get back in your body again. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take 3 deep breaths, just as easy as is comfortable for you, just as deep as feels right for you and your body. And this time, the way we're going to do it is going to take 3 breaths in, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in light. And if you don't know how to do that, just pretend you're doing it. And I will take you through these breaths, and we will share this experience of breathing together, being in the quantum field of love together in this moment. So let's breathing in through the nose, breathing in white light for cleansing and clearing, and breathing out white light for cleansing and clearing the air around you, the energy around you. And let's breathe in through the nose, pink light, color of unconditional love, and breathing out through the mouth, pink light, filling the air and energy around you with unconditional love. And finally, breathing in golden light, the light and frequency of divine wisdom. Let that permeate your brain, your body, your being. And breathing out the golden light of divine wisdom to fill the air and energy all around you with divine wisdom. So you have more awareness, more consciousness of the abundance in you and around you at all times. For a third relaxation exercise, I'd like you to caress your wrists and forearms very gently. The forearms are just the length of arm between your wrist and your elbow. And just very gently stroke them. This activates the caring and nurturing circuits of your brain. It helps you to feel more loved and cared about. And when you feel loved and cared about, you relax and soften into your body. You relax and soften into your life. You relax and soften into abundance itself. What a beautiful way to open to receive. And just let yourself melt into that feeling of I'm loved, I'm cared about, because you are so loved, so cared about. Beautiful. Take a deep breath, just drinking in that softness, that surrender to the love and caring that surrounds you and is in you in every moment. And while we're in the state of being, let's get up and shake it out once again, very gently, to reset your nervous system. in this elevated level of awareness, love, and energy. Just gently shaking it out, shaking it out. Ooh. Good job. Thank you. How are you doing there? Yeah, feels good, doesn't it? We love that. All right, we'll segue into our next way of experiencing more abundance right away so you can feel happier and more fulfilled in your daily life. I'm offering you a technique that I like to call pause to praise. And what it does is it helps you to gain a sense that you're making progress, which is especially helpful if you've been feeling kind of in limbo, you've been feeling like you never really accomplished anything by the end of the day. That can be frustrating and disheartening. And I hate to see that happen with you. So let's start undoing that, because a sense of progress helps you to feel encouraged. A sense of progress gives you confidence in yourself and in your competence, your ability to get things done. Gives you a feeling that you're on the right track, because here you are making progress step by step. And this is a way to acknowledge that and set you up to create momentum that carries you forward with more ease and more joy toward the abundance that you're looking for, that you're looking to create, to attract. Pause to praise is something that I invite you to do after you complete a task in your personal life, or after you complete a project after you complete a project in your professional life. What you do is, once you finish the task or project, I want you to go to the mirror and look yourself right in the eye and say, I did it. I got it done. Congratulations. If you feel like you did a good job, you can say, good job. If you're happy that you got it done, you can say, thank goodness that's done. I can finally take that off my plate. Hooray. If you feel like you feel good about yourself because you got something done that you've been putting off for a while and you finally got it done, it's like, I am really making progress. Look, I got this thing done. I finally took the action I've wanted to take for so long. That's so important to do, because the weight of unacted upon motivation, the weight of undone tasks is so heavy. It weighs you down, and pausing to praise helps you to take that weight off of you by acknowledging that the thing is done. The heaviness of that undone task is over. You can release it from your field. You can let it out of your brain. You can release the tension over it from your body. That is a wonderful thing to do. It's also important to encourage yourself. And one of the ways that I found that really powers up pause to praise is if you also do the forearm stroking thing and say to yourself the things that you wish somebody would say to you. You can say it to yourself. The brain really can't tell the difference between you encouraging yourself or someone else giving you an encouraging word. Really can't tell, because your brain is part of your unconscious mind, and your unconscious mind knows that we are all one on so many levels. So this is a way to take the advantage of that and just really give yourself the praise and the encouragement that you've been wishing someone would give. So you can say to yourself, stroking your forearms and saying, good job. I'm so proud of you. That was hard and you did it. You're amazing. You're a rock star. I really appreciate you doing that. I know this is really going to make a difference for me, or it's going to make a difference for somebody who I care about. I'm so glad that I gave myself permission to do this. These are just some suggestions. Whatever you would like to hear from somebody, or whatever you wished you could say to yourself, you can say it. You're looking in the mirror. The only one watching is you. And as I find myself doing this more and more, whether it's pausing to praise after having a meal, I'm really glad that I took time out of the day to nurture my body and brain and give it the nourishment that it needs to do a good job, to function well going forward. It can be after having a difficult conversation with somebody that maybe you've been putting off for a while because you're not feeling sure how it's going to go. You can even do pause to praise before you start, because your mind doesn't also really know the difference between what you're thinking about and what is actually happening. So you can pause to praise before you do it and say, I am so glad that conversation went so well. I'm really relieved that everything played out just the way that I hoped it would. I'm so glad that person could really hear what I had to say and understood and respected my point of view. So you're setting yourself up for success before you even have the conversation. How cool is that? And then you can go back and pause to praise afterward. That really did work out well. I'm so glad I got that off my chest. I'm really glad they listened and understood. So that's, you're setting the outcome before it comes out, and that helps you to go into the conversation with more confidence and to listen respectfully to the person, because you want a respectful hearing and you want them to respect, and they want to be heard too. So this sets you up for both to be listened to, heard, respected to, understood. How much more richly abundant can your relationship feel after you have a conversation you thought would be difficult, and yet by affirming that it goes well, that it went well, starting to already put it in the past to dissipate your tension over it. Super powerful. So glad to be able to share that with you. Any questions or comments or thoughts about that? Okay. Anyway, that's one of the ways I'm finding to use pause to praise. It's really powerful, and I encourage you to make a practice of it whenever you think about it, whenever you remember, because it kind of puts a period on your task. It lets your brain know that it's done. You're taking a pause, which your brain needs to reset before going into the next task. So there's so many reasons, because it works for you on so many levels, to pause to praise, and I support you in doing that. Okay, that was good. Boy, I didn't know I was going to say all of that. That's kind of more of, it's wonderful what comes through. I'm always fascinated to see what comes out here. And this brings us into one of my favorite parts of these webinars, and that's to check in and with higher wisdom and see if we can, and see what it has to say today about what is one way that we can create more abundance with less effort starting now. So let me take a moment to tune in with higher wisdom, higher awareness, infinite love, eternal truth, and let us ask, what is one way these dear souls here today can create more abundance with less effort in a way that's light, easy, and fun? Because we're allowed to specify that. What is fun? What is one fun, light, easy way that each of us can create more abundance with less effort right now? Be in love. Be in love. I love that idea. Tell us more about that. How do we be in love? There is a way of being where you are centered in your heart, where your awareness is centered in your heart. Your heart, among other things, is the seat of the soul in the body. And your soul is profoundly connected with the infinite love of the all that is. So the more that you live from, think from, speak from, act from the love that lives in your very own heart, the more easy it is for you to attract abundance. Studies have shown that the power generated by the brain is less than 1/10 of the power generated through the electromagnetic field of the heart. It has tremendous summoning power. It summons abundance. It summons love. And it also radiates love, radiates abundance, radiates your joy, whatever it is that you want to share, over a much wider field. You can reach many, many more souls when you speak from love, think from love, share from love, live in love. So if it's all right with you, would it be all right for your higher power, as you understand it, to show you what it feels like to connect deeply with the love in your heart, the love in your soul right now, and to feel connected in a visceral, physical way? So it becomes easier to know, oh, I'm living from love right now. I'm speaking from love in this moment because I can feel it in my heart right here. That special feeling, that special weight, that special sensation, something physical that lets you know that you're speaking from your heart in this moment. Would it be all right for your higher power to awaken your awareness of that right now? To connect you in all the ways that serve your highest and best good, to the love that lives within your heart, and showing you what it feels like to feel safe and normal and completely like yourself, even though you feel deeply, viscerally, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and creatively connected with love, living from love, speaking from love, thinking from love, giving, acting, sharing from love. Showing you how to know you're still you, even though you live in love, act from love, speak in love, as many times as you like, as much as you like. It could be every minute of every day. It could be when you think about it. It could be when you're in a good mood. You get to decide. That's what free will, one of the things free will is all about. You get to decide how connected to love you want to be. And in connecting more deeply with love, you are, by its very nature, connecting more with abundance, which is rooted in love. As our compassion, confidence, generosity, even money, its energetic roots are in love. So to connect with love is to connect with all things. Showing you why you deserve this, why you're worthy of it, why you're ready for it now without any further preparation, without needing to fix anything or adjust anything about yourself, without needing to let go of or add on anything. So just in my case, when I'm sensing this feeling of being deeply connected with love, speaking from love in this moment, is my heart feels very centered and strong. It's like my heart chakra in the center of the chest is just, it's right here, right fully present. So there's a weight of presence beyond my own human presence. It doesn't feel heavy, but it does feel significant, if that makes any sense. Would you care to share how you are feeling or experiencing being deeply connected with the love in your heart right now? Anybody care to share? You can do this in chat or out loud. Yeah, I understand. There are times when you're this deeply in love, when you're this deeply connected with infinite consciousness that your word maker kind of conks out. It's kind of hard to talk. That's totally okay. You do not have to formulate words. Thank you, Carol. Just feeling centered and calm. Very good. And that's a wonderful place to be. And so let's remind you that this is something you can come back to at any time. And when you can consciously summon the love, summon the feeling that you have in your heart, and you'll connect with that love in that moment. I was sharing with somebody, I think it was yesterday in a writing class, that I bless all of my emails before I send them out. I just pray that whoever is touched by the message in any way is showered with good and blessings of every kind. And then I send it out. And I don't know if it does any good, but it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like it's just adding that little extra bit of joy to someone's life, even if they are unaware that extra blessings are enclosed with every email. It doesn't matter if they're aware. I want them to be blessed anyway, because it's the joy is in the giving and the feeling like I've done what I can to help, and that's all any of us can do. So are there any thoughts otherwise of any kind that anybody would like to share before we wrap up? PJ.
Yesterday, I was at the wake for my friend of 54 years, my sister,
Yes.
Ignatius. And it was at the Mother House, the Sisters of the Incarnate Word. And I was running around helping do stuff. And there were a bunch of the sisters and a couple people in the chapel up by where the casket was. And then I was in and out, but at one point I went and there was only one person in the chapel. So I went up and I knelt down on the kneeler and I put my hand on Sister Ignatius's hand, and I just knelt there and I had 45 minutes of pause with this beautiful soul who I adored and who taught me living in the now so abundantly, and whose prayer life was just profound. A gentle, non-judgmental woman. And I just held her hand for 45 minutes. And it was that flowing, just whatever you've discovered that we've all been searching for, give it to me now. It was like, I want it now. It was a profound afternoon yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend, and so glad that you set aside the idea that you're losing the love and connection that you had with her because her body is no longer with us.
I did cry. I mean, the tears were flowing copiously.
Of course,
but
of course.
We've been united for years, but we've been separated so much. But we're really united now, and it was so evident. And so
yes,
beautiful.
She lives in your heart and your mind forever. Yeah. And that is a glorious thing. Thank you so much for sharing that, the enduring power of love and friendship and the difference one person can make. And I know that she's made such a difference for you, PJ, because she's taught you so much about living in the now, and now you're sharing that with people as well. So the blessings that she set in motion, you're continuing to spread forth to others, and you are such a blessing, and your work is such a blessing. Thank you. Thank you.
When I was writing my book, I talked to her about it, and I went over to her, and we spent an afternoon at the Mother House, and I gave her my manuscript. And a week later, she called me and said, "Come on over and spend some time." And so I went back over, and all she did was promote my dream and push me over the edge of fear and doubt to get out there and do what I was called to do, and to share with the world what I have been told I need to be sharing, and to not stop. She says, "You just keep praying, and you just keep going after that, because the world needs that message, and you just keep praying, and you just do it now." Now, there's the word.
Wow.
But she loved the message and pushed me over that edge of fear to get my book done.
Thank you. And I'm allowing those words from her through you to remind me to keep going, to keep sharing, to keep getting the word out. And I encourage everybody watching or listening here, live or later, to take these words that PJ is sharing to heart. What you have to say is important. It matters. And it matters that it comes from you, because you have a message that only you can share, said in the way that only you can say it, in a voice with a particular pitch, tone, timbre that you have, that reaches into someone's heart and mind and can change their lives in an instant because of something you said, something you shared. So thank you, PJ, for helping us all to confirm in our own hearts and minds the importance and value of pursuing our mission, of sharing our message. Thank you so much. I have nothing further to add that today, so I will say farewell for now. I'm Moira Shepherd, the author of Love Your Way to Success, the originator of the Abundance Retreat, and I look forward to seeing you step up, speak out, and shine. You take care, my dear. Until we meet again, I love you so much. Bye-bye.